Out. All right, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Due to the governor's statewide disaster declaration relating to the COVID-19 pandemic and current health public guidelines for social distancing, I've determined that it's not prudent for the members of the village board or staff to convene in person for tonight's meeting. Therefore, the members of the village board are attending this meeting by video conference. Those same conditions require barring access to the public for in-person attendance. In light of those limitations, the public is invited to attend and listen to the meeting via the Zoom platform or by phone as indicated on the meeting agenda. To comply with the Open Meetings Act requirements for virtual meetings, tonight's meeting is being recorded. And if I could ask Village Clerk Schmidtke to take roll and make sure everyone can be heard.
Okay, Trustee Borowski, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Good evening. Trustee Kritzmeyer, can you hear me?
Ann is not here tonight.
Okay. Trustee Michaud, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Trustee O'Connor, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. Trustee O'Reilly.
Hi. Here.
Got you. Okay, and Trustee Tanucci.
Yes, I can hear and see you, and I think everybody can hear me.
Yes.
Yes, we can, Kent. Thank you. All right. Pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag
Flag
of the United States of America,
To the republic.
to the republic
And
for
the
which it
stands,
under
one
God,
nation,
divisible,
under God,
liberty, and
indivisible,
for all.
liberty,
and
and
justice
justice
for
for
all.
all. All right, I'd now like to open it up for, before that, the homeowners associations. Let's see, I don't see anyone here, but I'll go through it really quick. From Towners is Roland here from the Towners Homeowners Association? Or Rick Scardino from Autumn Woods? Or Don Bardot from Ravinia East? I take that as a no. We have public comment on the agenda. Would anyone like to make any public comment?
I'll make a comment for a resident, if that's okay.
Sure.
I received an email from a gentleman who seems to have been pretty patient with festivals and noise, saying that this past, not this weekend, but past weekend, at 5:45 in the morning, there were sound checks going on, that he lives in Three Lakes, woke up his household. Maybe that was the marathon. So I told him I would bring it up. I invited him to be at the meeting. He says he's not good with a computer. So I told him I would bring it up.
Yeah, no, thanks for bringing it up. And also there was a little bit of a miss on communications there too, that hopefully won't happen with the turkey trot coming up, right? So.
Right. I think we have, I know we have times. I know it goes till 11. I don't know when it's okay to, in the morning, to start making noise.
Yeah, I didn't know they did sound checks at 5:45 in the morning. So that's a new one.
Has there ever been a complaint about an early morning sound?
No, there hasn't yet. That's the first one. Yeah. So I guess we should ask, right? Ask the organizer.
We're in touch with the organizer to make sure we're clear out the road closings for the turkey trot. When we have that conversation, I'll bring up the sound checks as well.
Do we have a noise ordinance that specifies how early you can start making noise? I know we have ordinances for contractors.
We do have a noise ordinance. The state laws are the ones that ultimately control, however, and I don't know how loud they were. And so that's really where the question lies. The state has different standards depending on the hours that the noise is being made. And it's not too loud as a matter of measurement unless it exceeds the state standards. That doesn't mean it can't be claimed to be a nuisance given the circumstances, but somebody has to present the
that a
complaint for
nuisance?
that. That is a nuisance. Trust me, I'd be willing to get rid of
Just
this
checking.
nuisance to any one of you. Just ask and I will deliver it personally. Uh,
No, Vic, thank you for that. I guess we'll follow up with the event organizer. The communications didn't, exactly go as planned, and
What didn't go?
really no one got notified. It just kind of happened. So, and in the past, the event organizers sent things out. We probably communicated more too about it. So we'll make sure we do a better job at Turkey Fest.
They sent something out to everybody. They, as a matter of fact, they hand delivered it.
Yeah, I didn't get it. There was people that didn't get.
Well, no, I mean,
notified.
in the area.
Oh, in the area. Okay, got it. Yeah. So, well,
How did we do with parking on RPC this last time? Was it okay? Did we get complaints?
We
Uh,
didn't get any to Village Hall. I remember that we had a conversation so with the residents over off of RPC because the APC and there was concern that signs weren't up.
I can't hear you.
yeah, you're really breaking up, Greg.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Okay. We had some conversation about the RPC and when there's Trustee O'Connor and Trustee O'Reilly were at the meeting with myself and Jeff. For Apple Fest, it ended up being okay. The Sheriff's Department went out and did some enforcement. We did not get any complaints regarding the marathon or the half marathon.
Good, good.
All right, if I may, I will keep us moving. And I see Sergeant Ryan Amber on the line. How are you?
Good.
Thanks for joining. I'm guessing that you're done with your boat duty.
You would think so. However, we have patrols through the end of the month still. So when it's 57 degrees and rainy on Saturday, we'll be out there.
Yeah. I'm sure that's why you wanted that assignment, but
Yeah, a couple more weeks then. That's it.
do you have any updates for us?
No, I was brought into the loop on the graffiti that was written on the pavement there. I was included on an email. Otherwise, I wasn't aware of it, but I think they called a couple days later to actually make a report. So I don't recall any other incidents in that exact area similar to that. So I'm hoping that's a one-off with just some kids who thought they were being cute.
Yep, thank you for investigating that and providing us an update. You have anything else for us, or does the board have any questions?
Yeah, just a reminder again, we harp on this all the time. I think I was in communication with Greg. There were a couple cars where some items were taken a couple of weeks ago over by Sunset Foods by one of the workout places there. So, just be cautious and, keep the neighbors in the loop to, even when they're out shopping at some of the stores down there, people are still shaking door handles looking for something easy to grab.
Thanks for that advice. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Any other comments?
And thanks for your service
You're welcome, Bobby. I appreciate it.
and all of those who work with you.
This is my 25th year and more people come up to me and the guys I work with now, for grabbing a cup of coffee somewhere, doing what you just did, and thanking us. So it goes a long way. We really appreciate that. It's good to hear during, times like this. So.
All right. Ryan, thank you. I appreciate you joining tonight, and we'll let you back to your family. Or this
Okay.
may be better than the children, the baby. I don't know.
I might just say I have to stay on for a little longer.
There you go.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Hi,
Thank you.
Ryan.
Bye.
Sure.
All right, the next item on the agenda is consideration approval of a special event application for the downtown vintage holiday sleigh rides every Saturday and Sunday, November 20th through the 19th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Any comments, questions, or I would look for a
Great
motion to
program.
approve. It
It's
is
a great program. People
Yeah.
love it. And they love it. It's a good fundraiser too. I would make a motion to approve the permit,
Okay, that,
special event application.
okay, that was moved by trustee O'Reilly, seconded by trustee Micho. And that's a roll call.
Trustee O'Reilly,
Aye.
trustee Micho,
Aye.
trustee Borowski,
Yes.
trustee O'Connor,
Aye.
and trustee Tanucci.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Thank you very much. The next item is consideration of an intergovernmental agreement between the Village of Long Grove and the Lake County Forest Preserve for the installation of parking at Old Hicks Road and Checker Road. There's quite a bit of discussion on this a few meetings ago. Now we finally have a document that's been sort of approved by both sides. You have it in your board packet. Are there any questions on the resolution and the agreement?
I have a comment.
Please, Rita.
When Jeff and I were going over this afternoon, we noticed that the one-wayness of the, well, it's one-way U-shaped, may need some monitoring depending upon how many people use these spaces and how dicey things may get during certain kinds of weather, where there's enough room for 2 cars to pass. There's not a ton of room for pedestrians or people getting in and out of their cars. And it is possible that a southbound vehicle will encounter a northbound vehicle at some point in the U-shaped entry and exit. So I'm just suggesting that we monitor it, see how it goes, and see if there are any amendments we need to make down the road, or signs or changes or whatever. Because if when you're in the cul-de-sac at the southernmost point, you don't necessarily see if someone is coming, but once you reach the opening of the cul-de-sac, you have a clearer view, line of view. So somebody's going to have to, it's like meeting each other in the middle of the choker. You know, somebody's going to have to be reasonable.
Right, but there's still enough room for and I'll ask Jeff or Greg to speak, but because it's going to be widened when they put the parking spaces, so there's still enough room for 2 cars to get by each other. It's just be a little tight, right?
Not if you're coming toward me. It's a 2-lane road.
But they're going to make it wider.
When?
That's part of this project. The parking will be off to the side. It'll be
Right.
widened. Yeah.
The road is 22 feet wide. It's
Yeah.
10 feet for each car.
Right. And there's going to be parking. Help me understand this, but that's not with the expanded parking. That's the way it is today, right?
Jeff, it's 22 feet with the parking or not without the parking?
So, yeah, I looked at the exhibit, and my understanding looking at it was they were gonna stripe the east lane and then,
That's correct.
or stripe the west lane, excuse me, and then the east lane would be for 2-way traffic. I didn't see anything on this exhibit. Perhaps I'm looking at an old one, for new asphalt. They do crosshatch on the exhibit that's in the board packet for the new asphalt for the turnaround. But there's nothing as far new pavement, like Rita was saying, for the U, the throat, if you will.
Yeah, my understanding is that was supposed to be wider for the parking, right? So am I getting this wrong?
The
Correct.
only new asphalt that's shown on the concept plan is up at the far north end to accommodate the handicapped space. And then at the south end to
Turnaround.
expand the turnaround. At least I understood, and I've not made any kind of assessment from the geometrics of it, but I understood that it was determined to be sufficient to allow both the 2-way traffic and the parking on that pavement.
And I will say this, that we went out there with their engineers, with they being the Lake County Forest Preserve District, and their planning, and we didn't get much pushback on if it was going to be able to be maneuvered or not, but I agree with Trustee O'Connor. It merits monitoring and certainly allowing us to look and see what kind of problems we potentially have with cars coming into each other or in opposite directions of traffic or the walking, the pedestrian walking. But again, the engineers were out there from Lake County Forest Preserve District. I don't know, Jeff, your take on it is it a?
So, yeah, I also measured the existing width of the pavements at anywhere from 21 foot average. It would be best if it was widened, like you were saying, President Bill, to get, certainly wide enough, like almost a 30 foot wide stretch there, that way you get no question of two incoming, outgoing cars and parallel parking. With the arrangement that it is it ideal with, you get two-way access on, what would be about 15 feet of pavement, that's certainly not ideal. So monitoring how that works. The one thing that does give me a little bit of comfort from this is I understand that the gate at the south end is going to be closed all the time except for emergencies. So that way you're not mingling the Forest Preserve District traffic, if you will, with the soccer club traffic. So, the people using the Forest Preserve, in my mind, that's a little bit more sporadic, come and go. So it might be okay, but I think Rita's point is good, that it's monitoring and see how it works.
I've got to believe that if the engineers from Lake County Forest Preserve saw a problem with it, they would have certainly signaled, or because they were doing the work, looking for something to expand if it was available to expand. I just knowing how they work, that would be the case. Again, I don't think it. I certainly believe it needs monitoring, just to make sure we don't have any problems, just like we would monitor or evaluate anything on a first year on a project anyway. So.
Any other questions or comments on this? If not, I would be looking for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Moved by Trustee O'Connor, seconded by
Second.
Trustee O'Reilly. And that's a roll call. Michelle?
Trustee Borowski, or I'm sorry, Trustee O'Connor,
Aye.
Trustee O'Reilly,
Aye.
Trustee Borowski,
Aye.
Trustee Michaud,
Aye.
and Trustee Tanucci.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. The next item on the agenda is the village president and trustee reports. I will mention that we had some sad news that Warren Schmidt had passed away, and I just sent some information on the arrangements that are getting planned. That was just after our last board meeting, and he has 42 years of service with the village board. And I'm sorry, with the village in various capacities, trustee from it was from trustee from basically from 1975 to 1979. He was on the Long Grove ZBA from 1979 to 1993, CSC from 1993 to 2017. He was also on the Long Grove Fire Protection District Board. I don't know how long that was. This man, dedicated an incredible amount of time to the community, and he will be missed.
He also was a very active Lions member. And he did a program, I want to say it was like the early 90s. He did an ice cream social that was so well received. It was for anyone I think it was 80-year-olds, 75 or 80-year-olds. The first year they were picked up at their homes with a trolley, and they were brought downtown for ice cream. And the second year, Lions rounded up vintage cars, and people got to ride into town with the vintage cars. They got a state honor for that program because it was so well received, and it was unique. And he was a real worker for Long Grove for forever, the whole time that he lived here. And of course Karen was too.
Yeah, and Karen was a former trustee as well, right? So,
Well, and she used to run the HDLGBA before it was that. She was the head of it.
got it.
So they have a big dedication. What was not in your note was that Lions is going to be a recipient of any donation. And surprisingly, Lions does not have an internet site. So any donation in his name should go to Ray Rodriguez. And I can give you his address if you'd like. It's 18576 West Checker. That's his farm. And that will, get in Warren's name.
Yeah, and I was waiting for Karen to get back to me on those pieces of it too. It seems like they're just, putting it all together. So,
Well, that's a for sure thing.
okay, that's a for sure thing. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. All
Yeah,
right,
and it's going to be one local and one not local.
got it. So I'll, as soon as Karen gets me the rest of it, I'll get it out to you as well. So, but sad news, but we should celebrate his life. He lived
One other thing, it's a discussion that we've had in communications about who should get into a newsletter and kind of what do you have to be? I don't know what the lines are. I know who should be in. I think Warren should, because of the years he's served and the variety of things. If anybody disagrees with that, please say so, and we won't, put him in.
no disagreement for me. I think, we should do that. So I really do.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All right, well, that's the end of my report. I'll turn it over to anyone else that has a report.
I do.
Go ahead, Jamie.
Okay, so the EDC is starting up the collaboration with Stevenson marketing students. And we met with Jen Marletti about 2 weeks ago. And she thought a lot of the students at Stevenson who worked on the projects had never actually come to Long Grove. So, and they're looking, because of the COVID, their field trip experiences have been really diminished. So she broached the subject about maybe having the students come and get a tour of Long Grove and meet with local business owners. And we thought that was a great idea. So we have actually firmly set the date for November 3rd from 11:30 to 1:30. And they're going to bring the buses in. We're going to get a tour. We're going to reach out to local business owners to have them come and talk to the students. They're going to be building off of last spring's project, where a lot of the businesses kind of, there seemed to be a reoccurring theme. One of them being attracting a younger demographic to businesses, and the other would be increasing customers during the week. So we're going to have the marketing students kind of delve a little bit deeper into those two areas. We're going to follow up with some of the businesses that can help volunteered last year, and we're also going to reach out to other businesses to get involved. And I think it's great to get these young kids involved, and I hope you guys feel the same. if you have any suggestions, and maybe Bobby, we thought maybe it would be great to put something in the bridge or put it out on, social media.
Okay.
I think it's a great idea.
I-
My hope that the people northerly would be included. I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're supposed to be in the old Smoke and Teas place of business. A fish shop is going to open. You might want to let them know. He may be all excited about being new to Long Grove himself.
Yeah, we're trying to make sure we get, Sunset Grove, we go up by Cutler, we hit, Menards, I'm not sure, or we were thought maybe the canine camp might
Oh,
be
yeah.
interested in participating. So we're trying to make sure we, include all of the businesses, so. But
Would you remember the one on Gilmer out west? I can't think of their name. Is it
Matt
Matt's?
Industries.
Matt
Matt Industries.
Matt Holdings, yeah.
Holdings, yes. Yeah.
yeah.
They might
So,
like, they might like Cutlers. They can get Carhartt stuff there.
well, that's what I said, because I know that's really hot right now.
Right, right.
So, and
What
then
day
the
was that
other,
again? I'm sorry. What day was it?
it's November 3rd, Wednesday.
Okay.
And it's 11:30 to 1:30. And we, I've missed a big piece of this, which is probably an important piece of it. We were hoping the village would pony up money to provide a lunch for the students. And we thought that might come out of, that would come out of the EDC budget as part of this collaboration project.
Why don't we order it from the chef in town?
Right, we're getting prices from Sunset and from White Oaks.
Yeah, that's it, White Oaks.
No
So-
concerns from me on that, but
Jenny, would you send me the information I'd need?
Yep. Absolutely.
Mayor Bill, just a kind of a thought, random thought. Very business focused and centric, and rightfully so. Does it make sense to stop at a returner to show the students what the other part of Long Grove is and what it's all about? I mean, it might be an example, or maybe even tour a couple of neighborhoods, like drive some buses through, whoever can take the weight of a bus through their neighborhood. But I mean, because we do have residents, we do have parks, and there's a whole lot to Long Grove beside just hanging up a shingle and selling stuff.
Maybe they could have lunch at Returner.
Something like that would be tremendous, right?
yeah, the only problem is you only have 2 hours. So, so if you can stop for a half hour and eat and get it done quickly, yes, right? So, but the drive-by, I think it's a great idea, right?
We'll just feed them less, then it won't take so long.
Yeah, they're teenagers. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're
Good
high
luck.
school kids.
Yeah, good luck.
That, I will bring that up. I mean, it is marketing students that are focusing on businesses and representing businesses, but I think it's a valid point because these are your customers. So I think that's a great.
Well, no, but if we're marketing the name of Long Grove, you have to market the image of Long Grove and what we are. It's, we don't need to
Right.
market Walgreens. We could build one on every corner if we wanted to. That's easy, right? It's finding the balance of the residential, quote unquote, rural to the businesses that makes it a challenge, I think, on like zero budget, of course, but I think that's an important part of it. I truly do.
Great point.
Yep. Thanks, Chris.
Jenny, anything else?
That's it. End of report.
Thank you. Anyone else have a report? Chris, no? Rita, you're
I
talking?
don't have a report. I only have an issue, and I wasn't sure, not an issue, a question, and I'm not sure where, bring it up in the meeting. So it's not a good time, say so. There was quite a lengthy conversation on Nextdoor this past week. A Long Grove resident entered a notice on the site, on the app, that he was having a great lunch at the Long Grove Tavern one afternoon, and he looked over and saw this horrible, raggy, tattered flag hanging from 40-foot flagpole, and not only was the flag tattered and worn, it was an embarrassment, and the village needs to do something about that.
I addressed it, trustee.
And well, when I entered the conversation, we were like, I don't know, it was maybe 2/3 of the way through. And I said, as just a resident, that it was not village property. It didn't belong to the village, it belonged to another family. And my question is, I thought we were monitoring. Somebody's supposed to be monitoring this, I think, when Long Grove comes up. But there was a considerable amount of what I felt was nasty comments about Long Grove, and maybe we don't have enough money to do that because we put it all into people smacking into the bridge, you know, blah, 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 blah. So when I said it's not village property, some Kildare resident said, well, that's really important information. I just, I believed what the writer wrote, that would change this conversation. And I said, well, maybe you just need to check the facts a little bit better each time.
Hey, can I ask a question though, too?
Yeah.
Aren't we paying for social monitoring services? So,
That's what I thought.
so that, shouldn't that have been picked up? So, but anyways,
Question is,
I would ask Greg, Greg, did you get a buzz from Melanie?
No, I did not get a buzz from Melanie. I got a buzz from the person who did the posting. He's a retired Marine Corps officer, and because he called
Okay.
me, he called me and basically talked about military service of the flag, and then he called me back a couple minutes later to apologize, saying that he did not realize that that was not the village's property, that he talked to the property owner, and that he was working with the property owner to get a new flag. So he offered the apology, and I would have hoped that he would have put something back out on the web saying my mistake, but I didn't see anything to that effect.
He did not. He absolutely did not. And the wife of the property owner chimed in and said, it's our property, we own it. You could have just come to us, which I think was a fair comment, and the online stuff is like that. It gets out of control and people have nothing better to do, but I thought we had a monitoring system.
Well, that's why I asked the question, and I will bring it up with her tomorrow.
but I have I don't understand next door, because there's the neighborhood and
Right.
then there's also the village. So they don't have to monitor the village part, just what we put out, correct?
No, they should be monitoring Long Grove.
Okay.
yeah, the problem is Long Grove's not one, next door network. It's comprised of several. and
Because I
that's
have
why-
no idea what you're talking about, and yet I look at it periodically, but still, I'm not really connected for some reason. I don't know why. I
No, I'm
can
in your
go and
same
look
boat,
For it.
They keep
I'm the same.
changing the boundaries.
Right.
Right.
On the one I'm in, the southern end of the village, and it apparently goes as far east as Lincolnshire.
Right.
And the northern end of Palatine and the western part over near the Forest Preserve on Quentin. It's a huge geographical area. And they just keep changing it. I don't know why.
It
But-
keeps widening. When next door started, it was just your subdivision.
Right,
Then it was adjacent subdivisions, and then it was your town, and then it was adjacent towns. And now I get postings from Libertyville. I think what they're trying to do is expand their audience so that they can get more advertising dollars. But it really, and you end up getting a lot of messages that have no applicability to you whatsoever. So it takes away from the platform as a whole, I think.
It's kind of becoming a cesspool,
yeah, frequently, yes.
because I
Who
love
would have guessed?
when I see
Chris
when
is
I see
smiling.
Who
Long
would have guessed? Sorry,
When I
Bobby, I
Long
apologize.
Grove and Home Depot, or Long Grove and I forget which insurance company, and I don't spend much time on it.
So one comment though, so I'm glad you're going to bring it up to Melanie because the monitoring piece, but
Yeah,
Right.
I will.
Greg, you talked to this gentleman, this former Marine, right? I don't know if you have the number, you could call the person back too to see if it got resolved. I don't know if you have the time to do that too.
I'll find the time.
It's a real sensitive item, and especially because the guy's a Marine too, and the flag means a lot to us, and I'm sure it even means more to him. So
Yep. I'll address it.
thank you. All right, any Trustee O'Reilly, do you have any comments or anything?
No.
No reports. Trustee Tanucci,
No, that's it.
did I miss anyone that had a report? If not, then we have the approval of the September 2021 pay warrant. Trustee Kritzmeyer is out, but
Motion to approve.
okay, that was easy. We have a live motion on the table by Trustee O'Reilly, second by
Second.
second by Trustee Tanucci. Village Clerk Schmidt, can you take the roll call?
Yes, trustee O'Reilly,
Aye.
trustee Tanucci,
Aye.
trustee Borowski,
Aye.
trustee Micho,
Aye.
and trustee O'Connor.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Next item on the agenda is.
If something just reminded me, I'm still not seeing the reports on engineering costs and legal costs.
They were up there.
They're in
okay.
there, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
we're-
missed them then.
Yeah, they were up there. I did, it was interesting read. There was a lot, actually, there was a lot of stuff up there. We had Monoline's information up there too.
Okay.
So let's see, you go into the finances tab and then those things
Yeah,
are.
no,
in separate folders.
I just missed it.
No, it's good. So it's all up there and, yeah.
Got it.
Lot
Got
of
it.
reading.
I got it.
All right. All right, if I may, move on to Village Engineer Perry for his update.
Okay, so 2 weeks ago, I shared that there was 3 construction projects coming up and going to be kicking off in short order. We had South Kruger, Stemple, and the Robert Parker Coffin Pathway. We had good progress on all 3 of those projects last week. This week has been a little challenging due to the weather. So yesterday and today were both rainouts for Stemple and Robert Parker Coffin, the pathway. So we're hoping to get the contractors back in there as soon as we can. With the rain, there's some drying out that needs to happen as well. So I don't expect anybody to be on site for the next couple days for that reason, but there was good progress in them last week. So I'm still thinking that we will get those done on schedule. South Kruger Road.
Hey, can you
That
stop there
one-
for a second,
Yeah.
Jeff?
Go ahead.
So because of all the rain, they've got to let some of the water evaporate out of the soil or the rocks, so they can't start paving for a little bit?
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
all right. And do you know how long it'll take to dry out, do you think? Because the temperatures are not going to be warm like they've been in the past. They're going to be much cooler, right?
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. It dries out a heck of a lot faster when it's 100 degrees and the sun's right overhead. But I will share with you that the parking lot, the Stemple lot, is actually drying out pretty well, even over the last 24 hours when we didn't have any rain. And actually that held up pretty well with all the rain that we had. So I'm very encouraged by that. So we'll probably see action on Stemple lot before we see anything over on the pathway. And I drove through by the pathway today, and there's actually some bird baths over there that need to either dry up or we're going to have Chicagoland dry them.
But there's some piles of dirt, or at least one pile of dirt in the Stemple lot. That's what I'm asking. Are they going to go back and be able to move some of that stuff around, or was it a pile of rocks? I don't know what it was that they had there, right?
Yeah, I saw the pile of rocks. I didn't drive the parking lot, but there could be a pile of dirt as well. I saw the pile of rocks, so that's the same thing, that it's drying out pretty well.
Okay.
So they'll be able
Okay.
to move that pretty quickly.
So I mean, and I'm not pinning you down, but I mean, the end of the week, they might be able to start paving or something, right? Or not?
Well, they've got a couple days of shaping the stone base for the parking lot before they pave. So I'm hoping that they can get that almost done by the end of the week. I
Okay.
think it'd be pretty optimistic to have paving this week.
All right, so that's what they're going to do
Nowadays.
next, and
Yep.
they should be able to start doing that maybe even tomorrow or something, or no?
Maybe tomorrow. I was looking at the forecast. I know earlier today they had some rain in the forecast. It seems like that's clearing up. So believe me, we're calling them quite regularly.
Okay,
to,
thank you.
get
Sorry to ask so many questions.
Scheduling updates. No,
Yeah,
I'll get
I
questions.
was just curious, so.
Nope.
Thank you.
Let's see. Oh, I was going to mention South Kruger Road. They were actually doing the milling of that today, and they're planning to put the first lift of asphalt on there on Thursday. So that one doesn't have exposed stone base, so that's why they're able to pave that one sooner. The other construction project going on, North Kruger Road, this week has also fallen casualty to the weather. So they're actually also scheduled to be out there later this week to get that one finished up. That one's looking like it
Bad
needs
they
a little
missed the
TLC.
season for replanting those trees.
So, yeah, well, that's on their punch list, and they're still hoping that those trees will survive. I don't share their optimism on that one.
Yeah, you can't be a thinking adult to look at those trees and think they're gonna survive. They were dead a month ago. They were dead 6 weeks ago. They were dead when they put them in. But we lose the season, doesn't matter.
No, they will they'll be growing and nice and green by the time this project's closed out. I'll tell you that much. So, hey, the other construction project that's outgoing that I mentioned last board meeting was the berm at the Grove. Looks like they've got that thing pretty well shaped. I'm just waiting for their survey to show that their elevations are what was approved. I don't have an update on that, but I did remind the contractor that with the sudden fall-like temperatures, that signals kind of the end of the construction season. So I just want to kind of keep that on their radar. I'm sure they know that, but the more that I can remind them, hopefully that motivates them to get everything done, including planting of the trees.
What is the deadline? What is the calendar on this?
Vic, do you want to jump in on that? Because the agreement
You're
doesn't.
muted, Vic.
Sorry, they are already past the deadline, and as a result, the original deal that we had was that if they met the June 1st deadline, then the $40,000 payment would be reduced to $10,000. They obviously blew past that, and so they will have to pay the $40,000 that was originally set forth in the agreement. As far as what further deadline, there isn't one. They are past it, and you know it's a matter of whether we pull the bond to complete the work ourselves, or otherwise hire somebody to do it. And you know, at the last meeting, we did look at that as an option, or maybe it was 2 meetings ago. And with the kick in the pants that they received, they seem to have finished the lion's share of the work. The landscaping is still a question, and as Jeff said, he asked them today what their schedule was for that. At least from what Todd had said. I'm sorry for the noise in the background. What Todd had said, we still have time to get it done. Whether they have lined up everything to do it remains to be seen. Whether we decide at that point to pull the bond is a decision still for the board to come up with.
How are we going to get the 40,000 out of them?
Well, we have the bond. We also have the ability to bring an independent enforcement action and get recover all of our costs and fees if we have to do that. So I guess that remains to be seen. But at this point, they have not yet finished the work, and that payment is outstanding. And
Okay,
keep
so,
in mind, the payment is due from both the Grove Country Club and the contractor, N&J, whatever they're, the rest of it, N&J Inc. or N&J Development Inc. or whatever it is. So we do have more than one pocket to dig into if we need to. And we have the ability to lien properties if we choose to as well.
okay, because we've been at this for what? 17 months, 16, 17, 18 months?
Probably a little bit more than that. It was April of 2020 when this came to a head. And so that puts us at, yeah, about 18 months.
And just as a very minor point, the trees that are on North Kruger, I don't know why we respond so slowly. And just, it's just painful how slowly, how a year doesn't matter. It does matter. It's another year of growth, and yet we just seem to accept whatever they dish out.
Yeah, well, you may recall that we didn't end up reaching some kind of accord with them until I believe it was end of October or early November of last year. And we did have the time frame, and they have blown by it. You know, I think that, you know, we have, the village has tried to keep an eye on it and to try to keep it moving, but, you know, we did run into some challenges in getting them into gear, and I think now they understand that they need to. Whether they're going to be able to get it done in time, that's still to be seen.
Okay. It's another season.
And Counselor, can you show us the dog to make sure that you're actually not torturing an animal there?
This dog is a crazy dog. You know, we refer to her as our COVID canine. We thought, oh yeah, we're in a pandemic. What a good idea to get a rescue dog. Yeah, it's a Baskin Robbins though, if you've ever seen one of these. It's
A what?
A Baskin Robbins. She's 25 different varieties.
Oh, geez. A mutt.
Yeah, oh, in the very worst way.
Got it.
We
Love it.
actually, just an aside, we had a trainer come to try to get her to walk on a leash. After about 3 hours, the trainer said, yeah, maybe just keep her in the backyard. Oh, well.
Oh, well. All right, Jeff, are you done with your report? What else you got there?
Hey, the only other thing I'd like to highlight is IDOT told me that the pavement patching on Route 83 is complete. So no more big time traffic delays over there. So I've been told.
All right. Well, that's good news, I think, right?
I do too.
Can I ask about number 19 again?
Please, what, number
Well,
19?
Jenny,
yes.
correct me if I'm wrong. Is this not the time of year for all of that mess to get mowed down or mowed under at Harbor Chase
Burning would be the best, but
in the fall?
yeah, burning in the fall is a great time to burn. And then sow in winter on the, re-sow it with some good things on a thin layer of snow is the best way to. So yeah, burning right now would be good.
So is there any way to get these people to get their rears in gear and take care of what Tallgrass and Urban Forest have told them is the problem?
Jeff and I both went out and met with the assistant executive director because the executive director had been let go or went on someplace else in her career. We went out and met with the assistant director, giving her the recommendations and telling them that they had to be in contact us with a plan of action. She is now no longer with the company. There's a new executive director there who came in from someplace else in their corporate midst. Jeff and I had conversation with him. We gave him the same information. He was supposed to get back to us with a plan of action. He did not meet the deadline for that. I am currently in the process of writing a letter to their corporate offices demanding action. So that's where we're at right now.
Thank you.
Looks awful.
Yeah, it does.
But then again, it has for years looked awful, so nothing's
Well,
new.
but, you know, we haven't stayed on them either, and we were gracious enough to allow them to get 2/3 of their bond money back. I remember Mike Solito had a cow when we did it. And I thought at the time, oh, it's not a problem, they'll be honorable. Well, I was wrong about that. So, you know, I think we all are sick and tired of it. And if we don't stay on them, they're not gonna do anything.
Jeff and I have been in frequent contact with them over the last 45 days. And again, I'll have this letter out to him this week.
Thank you.
Well, again, it's another season.
Yeah, well, not to play devil's advocate, but it seems staffing is a huge issue and they're probably prioritizing their,
Sure,
trying to get people in there to take care of their residents. So,
sure.
um,
I understand.
Do we know how full it is? I'll tell you what I'm getting at, and if it's not appropriate, just let me know. Hearing about the revolving door and them missing deadlines, are they having financial problems? Do they have a lot of vacancies? Are they having trouble making ends meet? In other words, is this a start of bigger problems down the road?
I don't think it's our business.
Yeah, they're a national company. I haven't heard anything, but there's no we have no indication or information about it. So.
Okay.
I have some personal anecdotes that end in March, so I can offer some comment, but I just be personal anecdote and not appropriate.
Okay. I have a question for Jeff, unrelated to this.
Please.
The two-way entrance off of Robert Parker Coffin. Currently, there's a little grass island in the middle there. I drove down Robert Parker Coffin on Sunday, so only kind of glanced as I went by, but it looks like that grass island is still there. Do I understand correctly? That's coming out?
Yep, that's coming out. They have to excavate that material, and I know that some of that pile of stone, that's where it's going to go.
Okay. So that'll be separate from taking out the asphalt. It's a separate operation, it looks like.
Correct. Yeah, they'll have to bring in different equipment for that.
And now that you mentioned it, that stone has been sitting there for a long, long time. Is that going somewhere?
Different stones, right? You're talking about the bricks from the bridge? The
Yeah,
abutments?
those big
That's gonna be
pieces
part of,
of,
that's gonna be part of the park,
The abutment.
the abutments,
so
yeah.
that'll be reused.
Yep.
'Cause
That's not for us, that's the Downtown Business
That's the
Association.
business
with-
association,
Yeah.
yeah, because it's kind of unsightly and it's been there for quite some time.
Yeah, my understanding is that's they're supposed to start it this year too. Jeff, I don't know if you've heard, but they're still supposed to start it this year. That's what I heard.
Yeah, they're waiting for their final permit from the county.
Okay.
So,
And then one other thing for Jeff. I don't know if you've noticed, but on Route 83, they put some new type of striping where it's a white stripe with black borders on each side. And I can't tell if that's painted on or glued on or what it is. But anyway, if you go south of Route 22, the southbound lanes have that added, but the northbound lanes do not. And I believe north of 22, both directions have it. So I know you mentioned they're done. I wonder, is that their intention to leave only one side striped and not the other?
yeah, that would be very odd if they didn't leave, or if they left it that way. You know, John Schumacher over at IDOT said that they were done, pending punch list items. That would be a pretty big punch list item. I will follow back up with him. I have heard that pavement markings, supply chain has been disrupted on those. So let me dig into that a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, the big paint issue, yeah. That's right.
All right, that's all I've got.
All right, Jeff, do you have anything else in your report? Keeps
End
getting
of
bigger.
report.
All right, all right. Thank you very much.
Bill, may I just
Oh,
throw one
please.
quick comment? North Kruger Road looks beautiful. North side of North Kruger, we've got the 18-inch kind of shoulders that we discussed and debated on Cuba Road. It's just kind of the question mark, should we standardize our policy going forward so that when we redo roads, we're consistent? Because, I looked at the one up on North Kruger looks nice with the 18-inch shoulders, and then you go, well, we've got them here, but we don't have them there, kind of thing. So just food for thought down the road to maybe put something on the agenda to figure out what our road profile should look like going forward.
But Chris, that was one where we debated a lot about,
Yeah, I know.
to make it wider, we'd have to take all those trees out, right? And that's the same thing on Cuba. It's the same thing on North Kruger. So what we did was to get the federal funding, we had to have the wider roads. And so that portion is what
Oh.
the federal funding was for. And then the other was 100% local.
Got
But
it.
by doing that, we were able to protect all the trees. So, and a lot of debate on that, and it goes back a lot of years too. So, I don't know. I mean, it's,
Thanks for the clarification, Bill. Yeah, you
Yeah.
don't need to, you need to
all
go
right.
on.
Yeah. The Cuba one was even worse, right? It
Yeah,
was-
yeah.
Remember, so that's why we didn't do it. So
Well, also, some of those properties go all the way to the road.
that's true too. Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
you
okay.
have these easement issues. Or-
Thank you.
I have a quick question, but not from Jeff, not of Jeff. So I'll wait.
Go ahead, Rita.
The building violations, that list of things that we got, inspection violations. Didn't those used to have addresses on them?
Yes. Yeah, I
Or-
noticed that too.
Or am I thinking of just like permits? But it's an interesting list, but it's sort of useless.
We can, this is the only report I've known since I've been here. So let me turn around and see what we can do to make that happen, trustee.
Yeah, just curious. And for what it's worth, you may want to rephrase all of the gas pass.
So I'm not sure exactly which entries you're looking at, but if you go to 07B ED report, it does have more detail in there. And I'm kind of looking as I talk, but I don't know if the detail in that one matches the listing in the other one, but
Where do you see that, Ken?
so if you go into the folder, go to
Yeah.
07B like Baker. That's the BD report, building department report. And that does have addresses in it.
Under
That's
property
not-
maintenance.
That's not it. Oh, hold on. It says rename the document.
This one's property I think this is what trustee Tanucci's saying, where it's property maintenance, tree removal, working without a permit. Is that what you're talking about, trustee?
Yeah, okay, so that one has addresses.
Yeah,
Um,
but those
the
are permits.
permits don't.
These are inspection violations.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I see that now. The permits do not have any address on them. You're right.
It's just a question. It's just, it's like, okay, but where was this? And maybe that's not important. I don't know. I'm not sure the purpose of this report.
I
Except-
think that one was just the inspections, right? To see how
Yeah.
things are progressing. So,
Correct, correct. Yeah, it's not the permit ones. It's that one. And
Yep,
I guess they identify it by a code or something that,
by permit number, yeah, right.
yeah, whatever.
And we're just trying, the direction provided to staff was inundate the village board with as much backup information as possible. I mean, just so the lines of communication were open. So that's why you're seeing the breakdown with Ela Township, the breakdown with the engineering, the breakdown with legal services, the breakdown with code enforcement, the breakdown on plan review. We want to turn around and start giving as much information as possible so that the board has a full scope. not only for the work that's being done, because there's been some significant work done, as you can tell by these reports, but also as we start getting ready for the next budget cycle to turn around and gain an appreciation for what may be brought up as needs as far as the budget goes.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I did notice there was a lot of detail in those financial reports, many pages.
It's good nightstand reading, trustee.
Yeah.
Who is Amanda?
Oh, yes, thank you for asking that.
Amanda is the interim community development director from Mundelein that works for us under the intergovernmental agreement.
Okay.
All right, if no more comments there, I'm going to keep us moving along. We have the next item on the agenda is the approval of the board meeting minutes from the September 28th meeting, and then as well as the special meeting we had the day prior in the morning for the Stemple parking lot. Has everyone read them? Are you good with them? And if you are,
Motion to approve.
moved by trustee O'Reilly, seconded by trustee Michaud. And that's a roll call, please, Michelle.
Trustee O'Reilly,
Aye.
trustee Michaud,
Aye.
trustee Borowski,
Aye.
trustee O'Connor,
Hi.
and trustee Tanucci.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. There is no reason to go into executive session. You have the amended executive session meeting minutes, so I guess what I would ask is if somebody wants to go into executive session, please speak now or forever hold your peace. Otherwise, what we want to do is approve the executive session meeting minutes, which we don't have to go into executive session to do.
So move.
Moved by trustee O'Reilly, seconded by trustee O'Connor.
Yeah.
That's a roll call, please. Yep.
Trustee O'Reilly,
Aye.
trustee O'Connor,
Hi.
trustee Borowski,
Aye.
trustee Michaud,
Abstain.
and trustee Tanucci.
Aye.
A motion carried. There is other business item on the agenda here. Greg, I don't know if you had anything for us or anyone else had anything.
No, not at this time.
If not, I would be looking for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So move.
Moved by
Second.
trustee O'Reilly, seconded by trustee Michaud. Roll call, please.
Trustee O'Reilly,
Aye.
trustee Michaud,
Aye.
trustee Borowski.
Aye.
Trustee O'Connor
Hi.
and trustee Tanucci.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Bye,
Everyone.
everybody. Thank you.
Take care.
Good night, everyone.